can't whistle. You remember that? The old Tom Clancy game? One of the most difficult things of being a figure reviewer is when you receive your figure in the mail, the urge not to unbox it right away, to save it to make a video for it, an unboxing video. What I usually do is put it away in my closet out of sight, so I try to forget about it. So of course, I received this girl in the mail and I can't just not forget about her. It's one of my most anticipated figures of the year. What the hell am I thinking? What am I thinking? This is the most important thing of my life. I'm just gonna hide my beloved Himiko in the closet for another 2 weeks until I'm ready? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's get this bad thing out of here and open it up right away. I've waited long enough. So, hey everyone, hot. All I want to do is drink cola and play Fortnite. Zenny here with another full out Fig Ultra review.
Jetzt zock ich Fortnite und trink Cola. Yippie!
It's been a while, but we're back at it again with my homegirl Himiko Toga. This is the Spiritale villain version or something. It's just like Himiko Toga villain. You know, the big one with her sitting on all the junk and crap. Swinging around another kitchen knife ready to unbox this beauty. Well, I guess I could give Deku a whack. There we go. Let's unbox. You live to see another day, bootleg Deku. This knife is so junk. But as my daddy taught me, dull knives can be just as dangerous as a sharp knife. It's been a while since I've ordered from Tokyo Otaku Mode. Surprisingly, for a US-based site, they had her for a great price. And shipping was cheap, and she came quick, directly from Japan. What the hell? What is this? This is like some AI-generated art. I'll keep it. Yes, I'm so excited! Ah! It's been a while since I've thrown some paper around. You know what? Better safe than sorry. The bigger the box, the safer she is. There it is. I see it right through the bubble wrap. Himiko Toga. I know it's probably cheaper and way easier for the company, but I've never been a big fan of the all clear plastic boxes. I like the good old-fashioned cardboard, but the more you can get more creative with the art on it. Feels more high-end, especially with the more pricier figures. Box smells like if you sprayed peppermint fragrance in a bathroom. Don't let me down, instructions. I know I'm gonna need you. Yes. Let's get her out, baby. I don't know about you, but I'm a base boy. And the more I'm getting into collecting figures, the more I appreciate a good base. Oh my god. It weighs like 10 pounds. God, it looks so good. I could eat it. I don't even care if she's a terrible quality. The base right now is just let alone worth this purchase. Ah, yeah, it's her second faceplate. Oh my god, don't tell me I gotta put the chains on myself. The bag full of chains. Oh my god, this is gonna be exciting. I'm gonna love this. These almost look like the glow sticks you get at like the street fair that you have to like snap. I think this calls for a little celebration. We're gonna make a little hot Zenny special mix. We take some Arizona fruit punch and we mix it with it's Starry now. It's not Sierra Mist. Sierra Mist was like already the off-brand Sprite / 7-Up, and like they rebranded this Starry, and now it seems like it's like even more off-brand than it already was. You get yourself a nice little sparkling fruit punch beverage. Well, the TLDR is this figure is the best figure in my collection so far. There, I said it. But of course, if you want to watch the rest of the review, that would really mean a lot to me. It's not a threat. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you already know what time it is. It's time to go over the details, so let's go ahead and jump right into this review. Good news, Deku bootleg, his neck is broken. I can finally no longer have an excuse to show him off in my collection. I can replace his position with a real Nendoroid. Good riddance. That's what Himiko would have wanted.
Hit them hard. I'm coming back with the blast. I'm coming back with the blast. I'm coming back to the blast. That the love fight, Jack's the lead. I'm getting back here on this spotlight.
When the first gray blobby prototype of this girl came crawling out of the shadows, I instantly knew I was going to pre-order it. And a man of my word, as soon as she was available to pre-order, I was like a Wild West quick drawer with my mouse. I don't think I've ever been as decisive when it came to pre-ordering a figure. No, I have that one already. She looks cracked out. Face is kind of off, and her stance is funny. Oh, that one's cute. What the hell? That face. Well, they kinda tried with the base. But Spiritale done said, I see your puny little pile of pillows, and I raise you this mountain of pillows. Like I said, I've just been more drawn in by creative bases lately. Even more than the characters themselves. Hint hint, wink wink. So what is all this junk she's plopped herself on top of anyways? The first thing that got my attention were those tasty looking macaroons. Does that cookie have strawberry filling? All those desserts are making me hungry. Is that Gengar? I like the cracked mirror and the pair of chucks in the back. The random winter coat kind of throws me off. It's not a reference to anything I'm aware of, right? Not a winter coat from the show. But what if I pulled up in the bootleg Himiko hoodie? But what if I pulled up in the Himiko? There's a million of them, and they're all bad. That's enough base for now. We'll get back to you later. It's okay, I promise. Himiko motherfucking Toga. She's still my favorite character in the show. There's always something fun going on with her. Yes, I'm still watching the damn show. I'm stubborn, and I'm sticking with it all the way to the end. It's still real to me, damn it! It does still have messages and meanings and a compelling story in a sense. I'm weird. I like the side tangents it goes on sometimes. I find it kind of cool the way it goes about showing other characters and their daily turmoils too. Just watch season 6, that's all you need. Skip everything else in between. That's a hell of a devilish smile she has there. Those are some sharp teeth too. But look how happy she is. Speaking of happy, give her face a swap and the smile gets even bigger, cartoonishly big. Swapping the faceplates was pretty simple, just like a Figma. Lift up the noggin, pop off those bangs, and you can figure out the rest. With her skin being a little more pale, the blushy cheeks stand out way more. See, they added blush underneath the little scribbles. Hey, do you want me to show you how to attach her to the base? That's a joke, because she doesn't attach to the base. No, seriously, look, she's just sitting there. Like Big Yoshi. Here's a clip of me figuring out how to sit her on there, or me just getting distracted, as always. Of course, the instructions were of no help, so I got my own from the internet, or The Rock wearing a fanny pack. Thanks, Rocky. Hey, yes, the little heart and star rods didn't slide in the easiest, took a bit of wiggling, but I figured it out. Alright. I'm gonna start setting up the chains, and we'll check back with me in a little while. You know the deal already. She's in her classic outfit. Cardigan, skirt, socks, and shoes. She's suited up for sucking too. Never understood how her setup worked exactly, but whatever. I want to see her transform into another person live. It always shows her after the transformation. I wonder if it's like Animorph style. How weird would that look? Let's check back in on those chains. Can you pull up the chain cam? Nope. Still working on them. She playfully digs her hands under her tactical scarf thing and rests them on her chin. It almost looks like she's chafing her neck, like a tie makes you want to pull away the neck of your dress shirt. Oh, perfect, the chains are done. As you noticed, the chains are optional, and were fairly tricky to get to stay still. Mainly it's my fault because I wanted to get artistic with it and wrap them around little shapes in the back, and the shapes weren't having it. It's actually 4 little separate chains, so you can use as many as you please. You can go light or heavy with them. Okay, now that little Miss Vampire Girl is sitting comfortable on her homemade pillow fort, let's find out what I like and dislike about this figure. Toga's among us! She's literally among us! Her quirk is imposter! She's a sus! Let's find out what parts got the thumbs up from old Zenny here. The base! Go figure. I said it a million times. It comes out of the box in one solid loaf. You just gotta stick in the 2 little doodads yourself. And she just plops right on there. Surprisingly simpler than I would have expected. Also, it just suits her perfectly. It's like she made her own little throne to perch on top of out of frilly and cute things. Red sneaks, Polaroid cameras, stuffed animals, desserts. I think that's what makes her character so great. She's adorable and compassionate, even comedic at times, but also a murderous psychopath. I found out in the manga she stabbed and sucked out a kid's blood with a silly straw in the middle of her school's hallway and loved every second of it. How could this essentially normal looking goofy gal have this absolutely horrid quirk consisting of slurping up people's Sprite cranberry? Cute base, contrasted by knives plunged into her stuffed animals with all the stuffing hanging out. The pose really suits her. It's cool to have a figure of her out of combat mode. The way she's stomped down on that plushie. Is that... Wait a second, hold on. I found this random pic of her, and is this like a real thing from the manga? What is that? The thing she's stepping on really looks like what she's stabbing in that picture. If this is something actually canon, whoa! Nice attention to detail, Spiritale. Her faceplates. At first, I was sad to see they changed it up a bit from the original design by having her stick her tongue out, just a few clicks away from going full Hego. But seeing this fig full scale in person, I think the tongue being flexed out adds a little more color or pop to the overall presence of it. The way her teeth, tongue, and the back of her mouth are layered definitely makes those fangs of hers menacingly stand out more. As much as I hated putting the chains on, I could admit they look pretty sick, especially that they are painted in a glossy black finish. Love her fangs, bangs, and boots. And her big baggy cardigan is looking spot on in all the right places. Dislikes. So these guys can't be that great. There has to be something wrong with this figure. I don't want to seem super biased just because Toga-chan is my homegirl or anything. Spiritale has this unique style of coloring their hair differently. It's almost like a signature look of their brand or something I've noticed. It almost looks like they painted over a transparent material. Sometimes it's the whole wig, sometimes it's just the tips. It works well with bright colored hair or dark hair, but natural colors, not so much. They did the same thing with Uraraka. I always love the way Sue says, "Ochoko-chan." It kind of looks orangish or like melted chocolate. It oddly stands out, if that makes any sense. I can't say I hate it, but it just looks out of place, I guess. When the first prototype pics of this girl came out, the color of her hair reminded me of undercooked pasta, a tad faded and off color. So yeah, I was a tad nervous it was going to look funky when it came out. And yeah, well, it does have some funk to it. Would have preferred the normal good old-fashioned way of coloring and shading though. It's not Butt Ugly Martians kind of bad as I expected it to be, but it could be better. She's not totally stuck on the base. I could see her possibly getting jostled around over time if there's a lot of shaking going on in your room or around your display. But she sits on there fine. It took a good ruckus to get her to bounce loose from it. But I still don't see why they couldn't have at least shoved the peg in her foot or something. And don't forget that bonus faceplate. Ain't nobody using that. Her eyes should be squinting more, and it looks like she's sucking her lips into her mouth. Okay, let's wrap things up and go over my ratings. I'm going to try something a little different and just blend all the categories into one fast lightning round. Let's speed through this. I always feel like this is the part of the video that drags it out longer than it needs to be. But if you do enjoy how I normally go about the ratings, like adding in the extra gag round, feel free to let me know in the comments. I thought there were scuffs in the paintwork on some of the cushions. Technically, they were scuffs, but they are fake scuffs painted to make it look like they were beat up. They tricked me. Ha! Yeah, the quality of this figure is top notch. I can't find any physical defects. I'll usually spot something when going over the close-up videos I take while editing. She passed with flying colors. She has a clean bill of health. Here's a size comparison of her next to a household kitchen knife for visuals. I think she has a stronger shelf presence. Not just because she sits up higher because of the base, but she seems scaled a little bit bigger. Almost similar to how my Megamine from Shibuya Scramble is. They both seem thicker than your your normal 1/7. But speaking of Megumin, who I thought was the nicest figure in my collection, I gotta say Himiko just squeaked past her, and it's because of that fancy base of hers. It's fuller and adds more to the figure's worth, which was a small issue I had with Megumin's. Yeah, it has all the fancy plastic effects around her, but it doesn't add much to the theme or set a stage like how Himiko's does. How Toga-chan sits atop her stuffed animal throne demands attention. The manner she's posed in is slightly seductive and playful, perfectly capturing her likeness, making her look good from every angle. No paint quality was spared either. Her suckers have metal flakes, the skirt has weight, tactical gear is heavy, legs looking fine. Ducky? I'm giving the villain version of Himiko Toga 4.9 dead birds out of 5.
普通にダメセクシーにダメ機械みたいにダメですよ可愛くダメだよショタボでダメだもんイケボではダメロリボも行こうダメ
And before we start, I mean, this is an expensive figure, but there do be a little panties in there. Can't tell because of the shadows, but they almost look a little burgundy. Yeah, they do. Anyways, enough perving around. Here's my final thoughts. I took a risk on a newish, higher-end figure company that I was pretty unfamiliar with. And thank All Might, I wasn't burned. Whew. My Scooter Rin from Alter still has the best paintwork and shading. Eastream's paint detail for Megumin is a close second, and I think our Himiko follows them very closely behind. Like, alarmingly close. She isn't the most phenomenally high quality fig in my collection, but makes up for it in style and presentation, and sometimes that's all you need. But boy, am I excited to see what else Spiritale has up their sleeves in the future. Speaking of which, this might be my first bunny girl. Never played the game, but I love the Sukajan. And again, the base. But spoiler alert, I might have another figure with a dope-ass base. Coming soon, I think, unless it gets delayed. Welcome to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, of course. It always means a ton to me when you stick around and watch my video and even thumbs up and like it or whatever and leave a comment on whatever the hell you're feeling. If you want to, scroll down to my social zone and first check out my Instagram. I have pictures of this little villain on there. It's a good spot to get heads up on what figures I'm going to be reviewing next or just purchased in general. Twitter has updates and random nonsense on there. And my Discord and all the homies that are hanging out in there. Thank you so much for putting up with me and listening to my nonsense. It's a fun spot to hang out if you gel with what I do. So keep an eye out for more reviews, more videos, more dumb stuff. So, as always, much love. Y'all the best. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone. Just in case you're curious, what else other pictures I have. In the dog. With a dog.